Project Rise is back with new information regarding how the game is progressing. I promised you guys I would bring you everything Project Rise, so here I am doing just that. Remember to use code ECHO in any Supercell game. Let's get into these changes incoming now. What you're looking at here is the hero page before any changes. This is what you guys have seen on my live streams and in any gameplay footage previously, but changes have been made. As you can see, we now have a lot more information regarding the class that's being used. Tells you the class, the family, the attack, the health, and there's even an eyeglass there so you could take a deeper look into that class itself. Also tells you your level, which you can see right here is Heroic 3. What could that mean? In addition to that, you see a spendable type point up top with the archer head that was never there before. So really curious on what that's gonna be. Most likely it has to do with the upgrades because the upgrade button has that same archer head on it. So apparently with gold, it's a currency to upgrade your character. You could also see some changes to the HUD. What you're looking at right now is the old HUD. Notice up in the top left, you have the big gear that when that would fill up, you'd be able to upgrade your perks. You also have your Phoenix Feather, you have the elixir that you collect or the crystals, and the teammates that you can have. Then on the right-hand side, you have your regular attacks and your map up top. Now, it's changed because now instead of that gear up in the top left-hand corner, you have a square with rounded edges. It seems that they're making it more clear when you can get those perk upgrades rather than something glowing up in the top corner. You now could see the elixir filling up to make a clearer indication that it's time for an upgrade. Also on the right-hand side, you'll see that there is a speech bubble. So some type of interaction is there as well, which as we all know is very welcome inside of the game. And this was the old perk screen. If you recall from gameplay, when you are looking at the perks and you go from one round to the next, you could keep 3 or more of your perks depending on your level, and the rest of them you have to discard. It's always a little bit difficult to remember what did you have, what do you need to keep, etc., etc. But right here you'll notice that the old one was just all one spot. It was all one HUD, but the new one has changed. As you can see from the perk recycling HUD, you have a keep section and a discard section. This makes it very clear which skills, or which perks I should say, you've actually discarded, and it tells you what you'll get for recycling these, getting rid of them. You get some currency, and you can very clearly see which ones you're able to maintain. It also tells you that you will get a 4th perk when you unlock floor number 6. All you have to do is tap on a perk and it'll move from one side to the other. So it's very easy to shift them back and forth. And as you can see with this recycle button here, you'll get tower tokens. Tower tokens are something we don't yet know of, but a little bit more on that in just a bit. So some things that are really new and cool here are it does tell you when you're going to be unlocking a new floor where you can keep more perks, and I believe there's going to be more beyond that. So at this point, when you get to floor number 6, you would unlock this, and then potentially another circle will pop up showing you another perk slot and when that will unlock for you. Additionally, there's this information button. That's basically where you can see a breakdown of the total recycle amount. Now we have something that is in production that's brand new to the game. I'm talking about tower upgrades. And notice a few things that you'll see in here, like the Phoenix Feather. Things are looking different than they have in the past. The Forge. Notice those tower tokens that can be utilized there. Daily quests are being added to the game, and as you can see, a bunch of other features that can be added in the future because the builder, well, he's sleeping right now. Now, in the last version of the game, the last one that we live stream here on the channel, your performance on the floor and recycling perks earned pass points, which rewarded you with chests. This was something that was just put in place temporarily and always had that intention of changing by Supercell. Moving forward, your floor performance will still earn pass points for chests, but recycled perks will generate those tower tokens that we mentioned a moment ago. This is a currency that's going to level up your account as a whole so that over time you'll gain access to features and upgrades that help your journey up the tower and vary up your experience inside of the tower as well. Let me give you some examples of what this could look like. Now let's talk about the Phoenix Feather. This is something that is not new to the game. It's how you are resurrected. It's a free life inside of the game. This increases the max number that you could hold of those Phoenix Feathers between floors. And that means initially, maybe you won't be able to carry any Phoenix Feathers at all, which really is okay because in the early stages, you probably won't need them. Now you have level 4, the Forge. This is gonna be where you can generate new perks with gold. So being able to unlock different perks, maybe even create different perks, kind of cool. And the daily quests, they're actually called TikTok trials. And these are very clearly things that you can do daily to progress up the tower and enhance your account. We know this mechanic from literally every Supercell game and many different mobile games. It's nice to be able to log in and have things to do daily to keep up the grind. And the Tower Forge we are inside of right now, and this is where we can create new perks that'll help us climb up the tower, like Stay Alive, one of the greatest ones. It's essentially a free life for you. Guaranteed crit, dropping a ton of damage. We can now create the perks that we want to use through utilizing gold in the forge. Notice there's a level 1, level 2, and then locked level 3, 4, and 5 of this forge. So definitely a lot of perks that we can use. And this is a cool mechanic because tons of perks can actually be brought to the game as well over time. Now it's worth noting at this point in time, when you do forge something, you are forging a random perk from those that are available. You can't, at least from how I understand it, specify which one you're trying to unlock. Now notice I mentioned there are these different levels of the perks system inside of the forge. These are leveled up and these are unlocked with those tower tokens. And each additional level will give you abilities to get subsets of those perks. So essentially buffing the perks that are already there. And there are multiple different types of perks. Notice we have some that are in blue, some that are in purple. These are categorized as Great, Super, Mega, and Ultra. So obviously Great is the lowest of tier, and Ultra definitely sounds like the best. And some perks will drop in specific environments within the towers. Now, keep in mind, there are only 2 tower environments right now inside of the game, but this is going to change. More will be developed. So it gives us the reason and the opportunity to farm these levels, not just quickly get through the tower, but to actually try and find specific perks in the environment, maybe in some of the goblin huts, maybe in some of the tall grass. We can find some of these perks to specify our build, to get the perfect build together so we can further climb up that tower. As I mentioned, I'm always bringing you anything that I learn about Project Rise right here on the channel. Make sure you subscribe and remember to use code ECHO in all Supercell games.